Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream, giving you that spiritual voltage that you signed up for. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see brothers and sisters rolling in the chat. Pound that like button. I'm about to pretty much blow the shofar. Let my people know what's going on in the world right now. On this side, we don't do no fear mongering. We just cover the news as it is. We take you away from the mundane distractions and bring you into focus to what's taking place, especially within these major cities in the United States. The way it's looking, ladies and gentlemen, all these major cities within the states are going to implode and fall into disarray. It looked like it's going to be straight famine in these major cities, and they're setting the stage. Now, anytime I'm giving these warnings, it's to help you to prepare. You know, it's to help you to prepare and also just be aware. Be aware. I see brothers and sisters rolling in. Yeah, some people know about it, know about the law that was passed, but we got to talk about it. For those who don't know what's going on, let me keep you brothers and sisters informed. As of January 1st, 2023, Illinois jail will be turning many prisoners loose. They will be releasing them to the streets. And Illinois' criminal justice reform law will do away with cash bail systems on January 1st, 2023, which means suspects charged with certain felonies, including second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and arson, will be released without bail. Approximately 400 criminals, defendants will be released back into your communities. Now, they've actually been setting the stage for this for quite some time. And all my people in Chicago, y'all need to be aware of what's taking place. There's been a lot of predictive programming. You had TV shows like The Chi, right? Where in one of the early on seasons, they defunded the police totally. And it was anarchy in the streets, and the people had to basically govern the hood. This is similar to what's going to end up having to happen, right? On top of that, the movie The Purge, the one that's called The First Purge. I don't know if y'all ever seen The First Purge with all the black folks. That was very, very predictive to what's going on as well. I believe the first Purge movie was surrounded with New York City, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, it had the same preference. They released prisoners into the community, and they just sat back and let all hell break loose. But I'm going to share the governor. I'm going to share this source with y'all, allow y'all to hear what the governor have to say, and I'm going to chime in.
As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to,
fair use,
kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them.
So what we have here is they're going to be releasing hardened criminals into the streets. We're not talking about no misdemeanor criminals. We're not talking about child support. We're not talking about white collar crimes. We're not talking about fraud. We're talking about hardened criminals are going to be released in the streets. Now, let's make this clear. Make this clear. They operate in fear. They like to fear monger in the media, ladies and gentlemen. What y'all have to understand is what's going on is the powers that be, they like to throw a bunch of on the wall and see what sticks, right? They like to throw a bunch of feces in the wall and see whatever sticks, and that's what they're going to go with. But it's all about depopulation, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the Georgia Guidestones, and they're trying to get the elected, God's chosen people, the children of Israel, to kill each other off, pretty much. But what we got to realize as people is the power is in the politics that we address. So one thing that the Shy Show had right is it's up to the people to govern their communities. It's up to the people to arm themselves. It's up to the people to practice their Second Amendment. It's up to the people to prepare their homes. It's up to the people, for some individuals, to just travel and leave, right? Some individuals are just going to have to leave these cities altogether, right? So really it comes down to what you do personally. So, it comes down to what you decide to do, right? I just wanted to put that out there. Let's continue. And I want everybody to thumb the video up. Everybody need this message. Let's continue.
It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses.
They would see, here's the thing, like what's going on in a lot of these major cities all together. I wish they wouldn't put this music in the background. Fair use. I do not own the rights to the music. Federal law allows citizens to exhibit portions of copyright material for the purposes of teaching and edification. And it's just background music. And I'm making sure that I'm making the content transformative by adding commentary. I had to put that out there. Most major cities, police presence is not what it used to be, ladies and gentlemen. What we have to understand is there's too much crime going on in these cities. The crime, it can't be contained. It can't be contained. And that's in all major cities. And to be totally frank with you, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need the police anyway. You need to arm yourself. You need to get yourself prepared for what's coming. Matter of fact, the scriptures tell you in Luke chapter 22, verse 36, then he said unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that have no sword, let him sell his garments to buy one. So if you don't have a firearm or a weapon, the Bible is telling you sell your clothes if you need to, but you must protect yourself in this day and age. It just is what it is, because at the end of the day, the police are not going to get there anyway. Police are not designed to stop crimes from happening. Police are not designed to stop crimes from happening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have to wrap your mind around that. They there to take notes. They there to see, what may have happened. They there to do some paperwork after the carnage is done. They there to say, okay, look, we found this body. It looks like this person was mutilated, killed. Okay, chalk it up, write it up. They're not there to make crimes. They're not there to stop crimes from happening. How many movies do you got to see that the police come after everything that went down? Every thriller movie that you watch, the sirens come after everything that went down. That's because that's not their job to stop crime. It's all about the people. And in this day and age, with everything they got going on, with all of this demonic energy and these devils and sinister beings that's combing the streets, you don't know what people gonna do when all hell hit the fan. You don't know what people gonna do. 2nd Esdras 15:19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because of lack of bread and great tribulation. And look at it now, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do we have a lack of bread in the land, not only we getting food shortages all over the world, but you got water coming out as brown as coffee out of faucets in a lot of these major cities. So we're talking about water and bread. So, people going to do what people going to do. And that's all scripture. That's what the scriptures is telling us. Because of the lack of bread. Listen, when a person get hungry, you don't know what they're going to do. That's why you're supposed to be prepared. That's why you're supposed to stack up, save up food. get your non-perishable items and so forth. It just is what it is. It ain't about being afraid. It's about just preparing. Just prepare.
Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket.
They can't remove people if somebody decide to live in your shed. The governor is getting into details about this, but I'm going to read a little bit more up.
You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park, Cook County, and Illinois.
The governor's not feeling that law. The governor's not feeling that law. But see, let's dig into it a little bit more, right? Let's dig into it. So approximately 400 criminals, defendants will be released back into your communities. Warren Winnebago County State Attorney, Jay Hanley. Anyone sitting in jail right now with these pending charges, they're going to be let out. Johnson County Sheriff Peter Sobskat said, the gates are open. They're going to be let out onto the streets. One part of the 611 page amendment, so it's 611 pages, the amendment to House Bill 163, a massive police reform initiative introduced by the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus, it says the Pretrial Fairness Act. That's what they're calling it. And they're actually saying that this is going to promote some sort of equity. That's how you know we're coming into a prison state. That's how you know we're coming into a real dictatorship when they call this equity, because it's going to be equity in cleaning up the carnage. It's going to be equity in hospitals. It's going to be equity in jails, because believe it or not, what I foresee happening is there are going to be some type of camps, internment camps that's under the radar that we don't know about. They may be like FEMA camps. Once everything hit the fan, whatever they plan to do, if it goes according to plan. Let's make this clear. It doesn't necessarily mean that what they plan is going to happen the way they think it's going to happen. But if it goes according to the plans of the powers that be, they're going to come in at the end and they're going to be cleaning up carnage, and they're going to be putting certain people. There's going to be a lot of displacement, and there's going to be certain people put in these FEMA camps and things of that nature. So you can expect this to stimulate some equity, right? Yeah, they're getting prepared for a social credit system. They're getting prepared for the dollar to drop. That's why they're not doing cash bails. They're trying to transition to this digital currency. So there's a lot going on. And with the major cities, they got to allow a lot of chaos to take place first. And listen, what's happening in the streets is also happening in the animal kingdom. So let me not go over y'all head, right? But let me go to Revelations 18. Let me explain what's happening to America right now. The fall of the great Babylon, Revelations 18. After these things, I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was illuminated. His glory, and he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place of demons, and a prison for every foul spirit, a cage for every unclean and hated bird, for all the nations have drunk the wine of her fornications. Now, I covered this the other day, how they got scientists, mad scientists, polluting birds, right? Actually mixing the DNA. The scriptures tell you in Revelation 18 that this will become the place for every foul bird. They're mixing owls with pigeons, and they're releasing them out into the wildlife. They released 700 of them. They just did this. Released 700 birds. What they're doing is even Satan has to corrupt the animal kingdom, bro. Like, wrap your mind around this. So of course they're going to take the worst of the worst people, release them into the public. This is all part of Babylon falling. It's all part of them trying to implode the nations. And by the way, that video that I did about the birds, you can actually go on my Patreon and watch that. I put that exclusively for Patreon members. But this is what they're doing, man. They're trying to corrupt the system. So they're making a war. There's a legit civil war that they're planning for 2023. And Chicago is just the first place, right? Now let's go into this some more. It goes on to say, the aim of legislation was set free certain criminal offenders without having to wait in jail for their court date because they can afford bond. Because they can't afford bond. So they're just going to be letting criminals out. I pretty much know that they're going to be hand selecting these criminals, these 400 criminals. They're going to more than likely pick people that they know are going to cause some real problems in the communities. Like, let's talk about the first Purge movie. They did the exact same thing, y'all. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, people. They did the exact same thing. Matter of fact, let me read the synopsis of the Purge movie, right? I'm going to go to the Hollywood Reporter. I remember when this movie came out. The first Purge is aligned with the Black and brown perspective through and through, from its hip hop music and recognition that a government run by middle-aged white men will always sacrifice the people of color first. Gerard McMurray movie is a horror film. It definitely was horrible. The streets were on fire. Men in KKK hoods are chasing people of color through the streets. Agitators in police uniforms are shooting unarmed Black people while they beg for their lives. They were burning down churches. The government was pretty much wiping off the lower class and the minorities. And ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you, based on the history of Chicago, with them putting on those Black people masks, because they got some masks these days, ladies and gentlemen. They got some masks these days that are so realistic. Like a few years ago, the masks that they were wearing, those masks that had the little black faces. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the masks that they have now, you will never know. You will legit think that is a Black man holding you at gunpoint. And it is a Klan member, a straight up skinhead with a swastika on the back of his neck. It will straight up be one of these. I'm telling you, bro, this is facts. And this is exactly what they're planning for. So, ladies out there, get yourself a husband, get yourself some protection, or consider leaving Chicago. You brothers even consider leaving. Leave these major cities all together. Shout out to Pastor Dow for blowing the shofar for many years, telling people to leave the major cities, because now we're seeing that the major cities, they didn't gave in all together. They didn't gave in all together and said, look, we're going to implode. It's time to make a move. So that's what's going on. Let's see. Let's go more into the movie synopsis here. It goes on to say, it says, the government is wiping out the lower class, the minorities, the bottom rung of the workforce by forcing them to choose money over morality, survival over sanity. This is a sadistic cleansing. This is the first Purge. Blumhouse Purge franchise has gone through a fascinating evolution since the first film debuted in 2020 and 2013. Now 4 entries deep, and with a television event series set to debut this Purge. Okay. Now that movie was horrible, man. It was horrible. It was people going into apartment complexes where you had the projects, and this is why you don't want to live in a building where you stacked up on top of people, where you just you in this building and it's like 100 families in there. It's only one entrance. It's only one way in, one way out, or it's only one way in, or it may be 2 ways out. But all it takes is somebody to come down there with a blowtorch, because they were literally burning these people's buildings down, bro. They were selling off the exits. It was horrible, bro. That movie was like, I can't believe that they played that at the movie theaters. I can't believe there was no protest. I actually covered that some years ago, like, yo, look at this movie here. Look what they telling you. Yeah, all those multifamily apartment complexes, man, they're dangerous. It's like they're packing you in like sardines, getting you prepared for the worst, man. But we keep our head on a swivel. We move accordingly. Listen, this is what the scriptures tell us, right? Hosea 4:2 says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood. See, the only way you're gonna get caught up in this purge, this evilness, if you're doing exactly what them scriptures is saying. The 2/3 are going to be annihilating each other because they practicing adultery. They lying on each other. They swearing. They mutilating each other. The music in Chicago, the frequency, the drill music. The drill music is provoking anger. It's bringing demons on people, right? And it's all in the music. Adultery, stealing, killing each other. Now blood touching blood. Now you're going to have our people killing our people, man. Cool Gents. Thanks for the $5 contribution. Says, shalom, brother New Breed. I highly recommend you read Isaiah 10, 1-3. Very, very informative. Go ahead and post the scripture, brother. Post the scripture. If y'all got that scripture, y'all post it up. I'll read it. Isaiah chapter 10, 1-3. Somebody post that. Yeah, I had no problem posting that. I mean, reading that. But this is what we got to understand. You got to have control over you. And that's what people got to know, man. You got to prepare, be ahead of the game. Proverbs 25:28 says, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls. If you ain't got no rule over yourself, you already like a city that's broken down with no walls. You already going to reach your demise. You already on a downward spiral. You already in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let me tell y'all something. In this day and age, I don't know if y'all feeling what I'm feeling, but let me put this out here. And he got that scripture up. I'm gonna definitely read that out. But at this current time, you can't even go to certain places without feeling certain ways. Like, I don't know about y'all, but when I go to certain places these days, man, my spirit feels convicted just being places. Like, you know that you're spiritually elevating when you can't frequent certain areas. Like, you may go to a certain Walmart, a certain store, a certain bar, a certain place, and your body rejects being there. Like, I think the Most High is installing something in his chosen to make sure we stay safe. Because, like, I can go somewhere now and my body, like, I would physically get sick. Like, I would get nauseous a little bit. And then I would and then I would like have shortness of breath, or I feel like claustrophobic and the walls are closing in certain places. Head to start pounding. It's like, yo, my spidey senses is tingling. And it's because there's so many negative spirits out there. There's so many people that got so much anger in them, and so much people that's battling with demons. There's so many people out there that you gotta be, you gotta stand firm from. You gotta be away from. So in this time, man, going into 2023, whoever you around, that's who you're gonna be around more than likely. Whoever, listen, you chosen ones, whoever you around in 2023. More than likely, those the right people, because right now you need to be getting rid of anybody who ain't right, because when desperate times come, desperate measures gonna come. You dig? Real talk. Love Nebo, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says facts, breed 100. Isaiah 10:2. To rob the needy of justice and take what is right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Absolutely. That's exactly what they're doing. They're creating an environment where people will be vulnerable. They're creating an environment where there'll be widows and children who have no protection. That's why we teach the truth of polygyny. That's why we tell you ladies to get yourself a husband, get yourself a head, get yourself some protection. This is why we teach, because when hell hits the fan, you're going to wish that you took heed to the men of the Most High when they was blowing the shofar, man. 100. Hassan the Prince, thanks for the $5 contribution. Says, all I get is mean mugs and cold stares. That's why I've been turning to a homebody, focusing on myself. 100. I second that, man. Real talk. That's real talk right there. And I'm feeling the same way. It's to the point I enjoy being alone. I enjoy being in my own space, get myself together, bro, because it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. So for those who are just joining, which everybody should have been tapped in, so y'all need to thumb the video up. For those who are just joining, because I still see people rolling in. Chicago, yeah. Chicago has passed a quote unquote purge law where the safety, accountability, they're calling it the Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today Act. Safety Act is what they're calling it. And you know what the Bible says. When the heathens say safety, you better run and hide. When they say safe anything, know that they got blood in their minds, right? That's what the heathen does. Everything is in reverse. It said this act will restrict which crimes a person can be arrested for. So starting January 1st, this is restricting which crimes people can be arrested for, such as the custody of 12 offenses, including second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and arson without bail, as well as drug-induced homicide, meaning people going to be poisoning people out here. We're talking about kidnapping, burglary, robbery, intimidation, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing and eluding, drug offenses, and threatening a public official. The public officials ain't going to be nowhere to be found. Even though aggravated battery is a violent offense, that is a forcible felony. A person can get probation for it. So what they're doing is incentivizing criminals. They're incentivizing the criminals to go ahead and brutalize the community. Pretty much that's what they're doing. They always got to put it in the movies first, don't they? Rollo, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, I say the last 4 months, get your debt in order because they're going to use them folks for to pay what you owe. Relationship, folks, time, be serious. 100. Yeah, then you got, right now, you got IRS agents suited and booted like they the damn SWAT team. Yeah, they're hiring. Listen, the United States government just hired like 700 more IRS agents, which is crazy. It may be 7,000. I may be wrong about it. It may be 7,000 more IRS agents because they believe when people in debt, they got the right to kick in the door and wave in the damn 4-4s. That's what they're trying to push things towards. So that's some good advice. That's sound advice. If you owe something, pay your debt. Because if things were like they were in biblical times, after 7 years, we wouldn't have to worry about debt no more because all would be forgiven, but not in this demonic land, not in this system. Yeah, it was 7,000. Thank you. Yeah, it was 7,000. That's right. 7,000. That's a lot of agents. Yep. Yeah, I would say get your money out of the banks, but what happens when they go digital? To be honest with you, we at the point in time where, ladies and gentlemen, you can't even really withdraw what you want to withdraw from your bank these days. Like if you pay attention to what they're doing, you go to the bank, you can raise your withdrawal limit to whatever it is you want to raise it. You go to these banks, they playing some games with you. You go to these ATMs, you're not able to take out the money that you were supposed to be able to take out. And then you go in there to the bank tellers, all they do is sit there and look stupid. So whatever's going on with the banking system, they're trying to make some type of transfer to digital. They don't want you to be able to access your cash. They really don't. Try it. Yeah, somebody said Chicago, out of all places, they're sick, right? And they're gonna be pushing this in other places. They're gonna do this beta test. They're gonna see how it works. But don't get things twisted. Every major city is gonna be doing things like this. Chicago is not the most violent city right now, contrary to popular belief. It's actually right now is Memphis, Tennessee. Congratulations, all you goons in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know if it's after young Dolph got killed, but congratulations. Y'all the most demonic Negroes out there. Y'all, listen, y'all out there really destroying stuff. Y'all really killing each other. Y'all doing a bang up job killing each other. Really, y'all really are. The numbers are astounding. Out there in Memphis, Tennessee, it's worse than Chicago. It's not even as big as Chicago, but it's worse than Chicago on everything. Memphis, Tennessee is the most violent city in America. Then you got Detroit. I mean, I just looked at this. Somebody said it's Philly. No, it's definitely Memphis, Tennessee. Definitely, bro. They matter of fact, when it comes to violent crimes, they got the rest of the United States by a landslide right now. So I guess those demons in Chicago, whoever's running Chicago, like, hey, we need to incentivize this. It's something going on in Chicago where they want these type of things to happen. They want it to happen because they push it in their movies. Let me tell y'all this right now. We are the people and we are the power. If you in these cities, I don't care if you gang bang, I don't care if you GD, I don't care if you folk, I don't care if you MS-13 blood, Crip, I don't give a damn what you are. Listen to me carefully, brothers. Listen, you are the power. You can say what happens in your town, in your city. Don't go into what the heathens are gonna push. They're gonna have you killing each other. Like they don't care about you. They're gonna have you out here down bad, man. So just because they open the opportunities, won't y'all use it as an opportunity? All you gangbangers and leaders and all that, won't you stand on the podium and say, look, this is what we're not gonna do. This is the rules that's gonna be in place. If y'all some real G's like y'all say y'all, if y'all some real leaders like y'all say y'all are, don't let the heathens tell y'all that it's time to go, man, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to fuel wars. And listen, they're going to stage crimes. They're going to be putting on these masks and they're going to be staging crimes. They're going to have y'all banging against each other and it ain't even going to be y'all doing it. I'm telling you, they're going to let certain people out into your cities. Real talk. Yeah. I mean, it really speaks to this movie, man. It really is the same thing, man. Think about the movie, that Purge movie. It's the same thing, bro. And they always come with liberatism. They always come with liberatism. They have Black Lives Matter say we need to defund the police, man. Y'all see what that got y'all, right? Y'all see what defunding the police got you. We don't need police in our streets. We don't need this. Defund the police. Y'all see where it got y'all? Now look. Yep. Somebody says 7 years is coming, man. Let me tell you, children of the Most High, how you gotta move, though. How you gotta move. Because I'm not trying to cause fear in your spirit. First of all, you gotta have control over yourself. And then you have to understand this. In Proverbs 11 and 14, it reads, where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Where there's no counselors, the people fall. But in the multitudes of counselors, that's where the people will thrive, ladies and gentlemen. Meaning, you got, and I truly believe this. You have real live brothers in truth, and they're spread out all over the place. I'm over here in GA. You got people in New York. Not saying that, there's different parts of New York, but what I'm trying to get to y'all is wherever there is real profitable men, counselors, you want to kind of like veer yourself towards those places because that's where the leadership is. The Most High strategically places his people in different places. He really does. I truly believe the Most High God moves his men in certain places of the world so there can be safety in certain places in the world, right? And I mean spiritual safety. I mean a covering. So like it's good for you to get near your people. Where there's no counsel, the people fall. There's safety where the counselors are. So surround yourself around brothers in the truth. Surround yourself around scholars, around leaders, around those who know how to maneuver when it's time to maneuver. Surround yourself with those who know how to plan, those who are watchful. Because listen, we can sit back and keep on watching to this keg bust, or we can start making moves. I'm not one to sit on my ass and just watch stuff go down. I make moves. I'm not a lazy person. If I see something going the wrong way, I'm not going to sit up there and watch it. I'm not like a frog sitting in a boiling pot of water. I'm not sitting there like, oh man, I see this happening, that happening. I'm not just going to sit there and boil to death. I'm going to make certain precautions. If I see the news constantly talk about food shortages, oh, farming going down, oh, energy crisis, this drop down here, I'm going to start making moves, even if it's not me, moving and just going all out, getting a bunker or something. I might not move like that, but incrementally, when I'm watching the news, I'm making certain moves in my life. And I advise all you brothers to move like that. Like, be productive. Don't be lazy. Like, do certain things. Like, if you see the world going into a downward spiral, just don't sit around and watch it, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because they want this new world order, and they're going to do whatever they can to do it. They're going to push this order out of chaos. They're going to push it. They're not going to stop. It's not going to get no better. That we got to come to that realization, because it was all written. But we got to understand. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reads, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, and is in all churches of the saints." Meaning, listen, these people operate in chaos. They want everything to be chaotic because they believe order comes out of that. The Most High God don't deal with confusion. The Most High God don't deal like that. So we're supposed to have a peace of mind knowing that we're doing the right thing. Let me explain this to y'all. Man, we in the spirit right now. Let me break this down to y'all. The righteous don't have nothing to worry about. The righteous do not have nothing to worry about in this world. Now, what do I mean with that? If you're doing the right thing, meaning you operating in spirit and in truth, and you understand that faith without works is dead. So you are active. You are not a sluggard. You are doing what it is you're supposed to do. You have nothing to worry about. The Most High can see that you're trying your best to prepare for you and your family. You're walking the righteous path. You're honoring his commandments. You legit have nothing to worry about. And what you got to understand is you're living in a time of uncertainty. The Most High God, he plays his pranks on his toughest soldiers, on his biggest soldiers, on his people that got the most in them. He gives Satan the authority at times to mess with y'all. He does. Let me break it down to you. Everybody from Job, multiple biblical men, they were tested. And all the test is for is to see how you're going to react. It's like he'll like the devil. All right, Satan, you want to mess with him? I'm going to let you deal with this person. I'm going to let you get under his skin. I'm going to let you cause a little problem in his life. I'm going to let you ruffle his feathers. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. Also, you can be like, it's just all to see how you deal with it. Because guess what? If you believe in the Most High, if you're on the side of the Creator, you're going to overcome whatever obstacle was thrown in front of you anyway. Whatever was thrown at you anyway, you're going to overcome it if you believe in the Creator. So it's like, it's a test. We have nothing to worry about. Like, wrap your mind around it. If you are a righteous person, you should not fear nothing. But if you lazy, if you a sluggard, if you can see the times coming, if you can see things going in a downward spiral, but you keep making excuses for yourself, if you keep making excuses, if you an individual who like to self-loathe, if you're a person who always feeling sorry for yourself, If you're a person who loves being miserable, if you love misery, listen, you got a lot to worry about. If you're a person who want to keep operating with the devils and the demons and those, and you want to keep on forcing yourself in places you don't belong, if you want to keep on going against your spirit and allowing the flesh to win every time, if you want to keep on doing that, you do have something to worry about, because eventually all of this is going to come to a head. All of this is going to end. Somebody said, do you fear what's going to take place? No, I don't fear. I don't fear nothing, because I'm prepared and I got angels around me and I'm doing what I need to do as a man. So I have no reason to be afraid, even though these things are very real. You're going to see a lot of things, man. It's going to be a society full of chaos. It is. And they're pushing towards that. It ain't going to get no better. But what do the Most High God say in John 14:27? Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled. Let it be, it says, neither let it be afraid. Is you a soldier or you not? It's too late now. We in it. We 10 toes down. What we gonna be afraid for? What's the fear? The worst they could do is set me free. The worst that can happen to me is I die and I go to the bosom of Abraham. You're supposed to live every day happy, like it's your last day. Happy that you get air in your lungs. Not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, you should be aware. You should be on point and game tight, knowing what time you living in, being watchful. But what them scriptures just say? Man, let me read that verse again in John. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth. Meaning the world never going to give you peace. If you keep looking at what's going on, you never going to get peace from this world. But there's a peace in knowing what the Most High can give you. That's why you got preachers who can teach you and show you what's going on in the world, but still bring the balance so you can find peace in that message somehow, some way. Although I'm announcing what's going on. They're literally setting up a purge in Chicago, January 1st. All of that, but you're going to walk away from this stream feeling that peace. You know why? Because the spirit of the Most High give you peace. The world can't combat that. It says, peace I give unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Don't let your heart be troubled, man. Don't be afraid. The worst they can do is set us free. So what are we being afraid for? Yeah, we got to see what's going on in the world. I mean, this law that's being passed is crazy. It's a crazy law. But they've been setting up for this. And, you know, this so-called Safety Act, that's what they're calling it, the Safety Act, you know, it's not up for federal repeal, so it's going down. I did my research on this. It's not up for repeal. It is a law. It's going to happen. They're going to release these criminals. They've talked about this for quite some time. They tried something similar in New York 2 years ago, but it actually got repealed. This one is not up for repeal, so it's going to happen. So I have to blow the shofar, let my people know I'll Chi-Town, get prepared. Make the necessary moves. If you're around people you can't trust, make sure you get away from those individuals. So, you know, it is what it is. Let me read a few of these comments. I want everybody to thumb the show up, thumb the stream up. Yes. Somebody said, go over there to New Breed Music and Motivation to get that spiritually uplifting music. Absolutely. Somebody said it's like we're living in the 80s again. Yeah, more like the early 90s. But you're right. And I say more like the early 90s because this reminds me of the Biden what is it called? The harm reduction grant. It kind of reminds me of the Biden harm reduction grant. And they always talking about why. Have y'all noticed every time it comes down to the destruction of our people, they always screaming equity? What's up with that? They telling us what it is. Okay, yeah, he talking about like the movie the book 1984. Absolutely. Thank you for the scripture, Ecclesiastes 41:3. Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and they that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We don't fear death. Not saying that nobody's going to die. I'm going to speak life. I ain't saying nobody in this chat is going to die, but I'm saying we don't fear death regardless, right? We're not worried about that. It's nothing to fear. It's literally nothing to fear. Somebody said reaction to selling of O Block. I didn't know O Block was sold. Should been torn down by 2023. Wow. Who knows what they got planned? Yep. Somebody said we carry that harmonious energy. Yep. And them devils don't like it. Yep. Somebody said, or excuse me, the spinoff show Raising Canaan. Yep. Oh, they showing you the spirit of Canaan is everywhere. The spirit of Cain. They're trying to promote that. That's why you got Raising Cain, Raising Canaan, Cain this. The other power show, one of the villains was named Cain. They trying to put that spirit of Cain out there, like Cain and Abel, man. They want you brothers killing each other, man. That's what it boils down to. But you got the power in your hand. Listen, they can pass as many laws as they want to pass. It's up to you to actually take to the streets and participate. And if they do send these devils in disguise, like I think they're going to do, it's up to you to prepare for that too. Don't you know we in times of war? Don't you know as a man, you got to be prepared in this day and age? It's up for you to prepare. Somebody said, the true rapture is Yeshua coming back, people. 100. Yeah, real talk. Yep, television, aka tell-a-vision. Exactly. How to operate. Real talk. Yep, somebody said, study the words in full context, chapter for chapter, and cross-reference different books in the Bible. Yep. Thanks for that. Yep. Somebody said Newbury, Illinois still has abortion legal. For real? I didn't know that. See, there's something going on over there. First Peter 4:1 and it says 1 through 14, but that's just First Peter 1, I think. As obedient children, not fashioning yourself according to the former of lust in your ignorance. Yeah, ignorance ain't bliss. Contrary to popular belief, ignorance is not bliss in this day and age. Yep. Ephesians 6. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, man. Absolutely. But you know, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come through and give y'all this news. Just prepare, man. Do what you got to do. Arm yourselves. You know, prepare. Get yourself extra food, non-perishable items, deep freezers, things of that nature. Hold on, I think I see one more scripture. I wanna read. Ecclesiastes 2:10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in fear and was forsaken? Question mark. Exactly. Anybody trusting in the Lord, they're gonna be good. Anybody trusting in the Most High, you good to go. The scriptures tell you these things time and time again, man. That's why I can't get with some of these camps that all they do is fearmonger and soothsay and you know, try to appeal to women and all those things, man. Nah, we just tell the truth straight down the middle, straight down the line. The scriptures tell you to stop all that damn fearmongering. The Lord tells us this is the gospel that's supposed to be preached, not to have no fear. I did a video the other day, and now that we in here, I did a video the other day where I was reacting to a woman who she said that she had 2,000 bodies under her belt. And a woman named Diamond the Body. Says she dealt with 1,000 women and 1,000 men, and I couldn't believe it. All the women, religious women who got names like Yasharala and all of this, compared that to polygyny and was battling against that, using, not talking about the fornication of this woman, not shaming her. And these are biblical women. See, that's the product of these camps. That's what these camps is producing. I don't know why I thought about that, but that is crazy. That's what happens when these camps ain't teaching the women the truth. I had to bring that out because y'all know, man, I'm going to speak it. That's why they ain't going to be around, because they won't speak the truth. They refuse. They refuse. And now your women all haughty, running their damn mouths, don't know what they talking about. You mean to tell me you in the Bible, you know all your culture, you done took 20, 30 biblical classes, you online Bible this and that, and you gonna compare polygyny to a woman who dealt with 1,000 women and 1,000 men, and you in the scriptures, and you ain't even going to talk about what this woman just did? That's what's going on right now, because these camps won't teach the truth. Well, New Breed, the bad guy, I'm the villain. But I'm the villain though. One day you're going to understand. I'm just telling you the truth. Yeah, they wilding. Yeah, they wilding. Bunch of Jezebels in disguise. Listen, I don't teach about polygyny for no reason. That's the way. Guess what? With all of this legalized crime that's about to hit, because believe it or not, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the tip of the iceberg. Listen, they're already setting the table. They showing you women what they doing. They putting fentanyl napkins in your cars and your car door handles. They're gang stalking you inordinately. Yeah, the sex trafficking rings, they ready. And brothers sitting here crying aloud, standing on the podium, telling y'all, listen, y'all ladies need to bow down and get right. Find yourself a husband that's going to cover you spiritually. Because y'all got to understand, when you get with a man of Yah, you covered in the spirit. You might not even be around that man physically. But when you with that man of Yah and you dealt with him, and that's the man you deal with, and you ain't dealing with nobody else, guess what? You covered spiritually. That part, the same angels that's protecting that man of Yah, when that man deal with you, guess what? Even if that man ain't in your household, them same angels can pass your home where the burglars and the criminals ain't gonna be able to come. Oh man, I'm going too deep for y'all. Where the holy angels, the guardian angels, guess what? When you deal with that man of Yah, the guardian angels just supplied you with, listen, the heavenly realm, the Father of all fathers just supplied you with more angels to make sure them gang stalkers, weirdos, sex traffickers, those who tracing your IP address ain't gonna be able to get you. But we the bad guys, even though we the ones who get demonetized and flagged and cussed out. And listen, we the ones who taking we taking the persecution for speaking the truth, all while the world can take everything we say. Now imagine this, the world can take everything we say and they can spin it. They can talk about thruples, threesomes, orgies, OnlyFans, and oh yeah, that's my other chick. That's all good. The world don't get persecuted, but when a man say orderly fashion, get you wives and concubines. Listen, y'all come together, create community, create family, build dynasty, legacy. Guess what? You got all the so-called women in the Bible coming out attacking. Something wrong with this world. Something wrong. Something real wrong. Something is really wrong. Woe to them that call good evil and evil good. Woe to you. Woe to you that call evil good and good evil. Seriously. A bunch of Eves running around. They don't know what the hell they talking about. And guess what? Here's the kicker. All of those Eves that's jumping in these chats, running their mouth in the comment section, who all of a sudden became Bible scholars, they don't even have husbands. That's the kicker of it all. They don't have husbands, but they got all the answers. You can't make it up. But you know what it is, man. Let me tell you, when they release the demons, when they release the meat suits and the Cynthians, y'all listen, brothers, all you brothers in the truth. This is what I want y'all to know. I want y'all to stand firm, practice semen retention, get on your game, do what it is you're supposed to do as a man. Hey, focus on your goals, overcome obstacles, break generational curses, be productive. And guess what? Watch what happened when all hell hits the fan. Watch what happened when the crime rate is already sky high to the point the police don't want nothing to do with your community. The police don't want nothing to do with y'all. But wait until all hell hit the fan and then watch them women say, listen, just like Isaiah 4:1 said, let us be called by that man to take away our reproach. Meaning, Lord, I need to be connected to a righteous man because I'm afraid. You're going to be in terror out here in these streets of America. Babylon is going to fall. And all of these pains, you're going to see them. I'm just being 100% with you. Geraldo, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says people still on demon time. They still with the trends. Oh, yeah. They definitely are. And listen, you could be on demon time all you want, but wait till hell comes. Yeah, you could be on demon time all you want till you meet the damn devil. Until you hog-tied somewhere. They think that it's a game. They think it's a game. They think it's a game. Joey said the love frequency is here. Absolutely. And everything I'm saying to y'all, I say it out of love. This ain't hate I'm speaking. Because if I hated you, I wouldn't warn you of nothing. I wouldn't say nothing to you ladies out here. I'd be like, all right, I'll see the fire coming and I'll let you walk right into it. Won't say nothing. I'm telling y'all now, y'all better start getting on point. If you got men in your life, like fathers, uncles, cousins, I recommend that you even get around them. Understand the importance of having men in your life. Ladies, you can't do it all on your own when they are releasing criminals into the streets. Imagine this, hardened criminals in jail for everything, murder. They done been locked up for some time. They done been locked up for some time. Yeah, they done been behind them walls and they ain't seen no walls, if you know what I mean. And they in there and they thirsting. And guess what? Somebody said, originator said, you can't fix stupid. You ain't lying. And the way they operate up in there, in that system, whatever they got going on, the type of Adam BC's behavior they got going on in there, they're going to take it right to the streets. They're going to take it right to the streets. The question is, do you still want to be an independent woman? That's the question. And brothers, do you still want to be lackadaisical? Do you still want to be unprepared? Do you still want to be walking around here not practicing your rights? Do you still want to be hanging with Negroes who ain't about nothing? Do you still want to be hanging with people that you can't trust? Especially when there won't be no consequences for their actions, because that's what it's coming to. Your so-called day ones, if they want that loud pack you got, if they want that zip or that Zaza, guess what? Bang, bang, 2 in the head. Or they could just get you. They're not even doing that now because they're going to be doing drug-induced murder. That's how it's going to be happening. They're going to lace you up something nice. Since y'all like taking cups from everybody. Everybody who got a red cup, you taking red cups from everybody, drinking from everybody, smoking with everybody, right? Hey, all they got to do is zip you up, line you up, put that Elizabeth pack in there, and you gone. You sitting there hitting that Elizabeth pack. Next thing you know, you foaming at the damn mouth. And guess what? It's murder she wrote after that because ain't no investigation. Where the cops at? Like y'all can keep moving how you want. Y'all better focus and stay sober minded. If you're gonna get drunk in your own damn house by yourself or with a lady you can trust. That's what I'm saying. Prostitutes about to be sky high. They hooking left and right. This boy, Babylon about to go. Boy, y'all don't even know. It's about to be hookers everywhere. Trash cans gonna be on fire. It's gonna be people smashing in the middle of the street. It's gonna be people robbing. Man, boy, y'all don't even know what time y'all about to go. Get the hell out the city. Shout out to Pastor Dow for talking about getting out the city for all these years. I didn't see it the way I see it now. I see it more now than I seen it ever. So I got to give credit where credit is due. That brother been saying that. It's going to get ugly out here. And all you ladies run around, I don't need no man. I don't need no man. These niggas dusty. Girl, he dusty. Nah, they don't know what, Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Wait till them damn KKKs come to your damn door. Wait till them damn real purge weirdos coming to your door. And you're gonna think it's Negroes doing it. They're gonna have masks on. You're gonna think it's your own people. I can see women on social media now talking about how black men are doing this and doing that to them in Chicago. Them ain't black men. You don't know who under that mask. It might not even be humans under that mask. Yeah, keep on being haughty. Keep on being high-minded. Keep on thinking that you keep on. Listen. Keep on having the main attraction syndrome. Yeah, y'all heard it. That's what it is. Because that's what it is. That label, that title, that these women these days got main attraction syndrome. Keep thinking y'all the centerpiece of the damn universe. Keep on thinking that. Keep thinking you goddesses and queens. And watch what the hell happen when hell hits the fan. You watch. And you're going to remember my voice. That's the messed up part. You're going to remember exactly what I said, but it's going to be too damn late. And you're going to think about all the good men you done passed up on. And it's going to be too damn late because you wanted Pookie and Ray Ray. And guess what? Them Negroes, they can kill each other, but they don't have the gumption to kill anything else. Do you hear me? Let me repeat that. They can kill each other, drug each other, beat each other down, but they do not have the fortitude to turn that trigger towards anybody else. You're going to wish you had a man of y'all that made the proper precautions to make sure you had safety. Yep. It is what it is, man. These things have come to pass. Just be prepared, man. I love each and every one of y'all, man. Support my content, patreon.com. You never know where my content is going to go because I keep it raw on here. You never know how it's going to go. Support me at newbreed.love as well. I'd like to thank everybody for showing their support. Get yourself a love note. We got to stay connected. For those who don't know, when you get a love note, listen, when you order yourself a love note, you are put into the database. Meaning, if something was to happen in your city, a catastrophe of some sort, an EMP, power outage, a flood, an earthquake, you will, after you get your love note digitally, we have the information needed to reach out to you. We can call you. We can make sure you are good if something happens in your city. We have a staff on my website. We have a chat box. If something's going on in the city near you, feel free to inbox that. Newbreed.love. I'm trying to show y'all some love. I sacrifice my Cash Apps contributions to show y'all some love because I love y'all who support me. I'm one of the first YouTubers. No. I'm the first YouTuber to do something like this. I am the first content creator to implement a site the way I've done it. And I'm not saying that to brag, but we got to support this. We got to support this. Get yourself a love note. So I love each and every one of y'all, man. Y'all stay safe out here. Be balanced. With that being said, shalom and peace.